record on this computer, and anyone that wants the recording, I'll send it to Amanda. She can send it to you all. Okay, so I've just called it Celebrate to Elevate because it's an important part of the law of attraction and vibrational frequency that a lot of people forget. Celebration for every little part of your life is a big, important factor that the more you do it, the more you have reason to celebrate. There's Megan again. So Amanda's asked you to all bring pen and paper, and that's because I'm going to ask you some questions. And as I go through the slide presentation, I'll put the slide presentation up and then I'll come back out of it so we can chat, because one of the first slides I'm asking about who you are, and it's a great way to introduce yourself and really get to know who you are and what you stand for. So hopefully when I share my screen from here, it will work today. And that one. And move that screen there. Okay, can everyone see this? Awesome. Okay, someone's not on mute, so I can hear background noise, that's all. So the first part of this that I want everyone to write down in their little notebook and consider is, who are you? And what do you stand for? These are two very important questions that a lot of people don't know the answer to. In my coaching business, I ask all my clients, who are they, or who am I? And they have no idea how to answer it. And it's highly important to understand who you are, what are the core factors, beliefs, understandings, and have a statement for who you are and what you stand for. This is my particular one, okay? I'm a being of light, here to change the world one person at a time. This is my life motto. This is something that I participate, practice in every single day. It is highly important to me. It is the basis of how I wake up every single day. I have two questions in life of what I ask myself each and every day. One is, how can I be of service? And that's how I can offer service to the world. What can I offer anybody else, whether it's one person or a million people, via Facebook posts, Facebook lives, connection, workshops, anything. And the other question is, what is this teaching me? Anytime something happens in my life, what is this teaching me? Because it is all about me. Everything that happens to me or for me is about me and the person that I am. So I'm going to come back and stop sharing the screen for a minute, and we're going to ask people to unmute one person at a time. And I want you to share, who are you? Is it a question that you can easily answer, or is it something that's very hard? Do you know what you stand for in life? Do you know why you're here, what you're doing, what you want out of life? Are these factors that you've considered? Are they something that you need to consider? Knowing who you are tells the world how you show up. Okay, I'm a being of light. I'm a spiritual person. Spirituality is my whole life. It is not a part-time gig. It's 24/7, all of who I am. And I do my best each and every day not to be hurtful, not to do the wrong thing. We all have bad thoughts. We all have different aspects of where we fall into victimization or tit for tat sort of thing. But I endeavor to change that. And I choose how I react and how I interact with each and every person that I come across. This is something that is, for me, the authentic aspect of who I am. I go out of my way to make people feel better. I go out of my way to give people compliments and to show them how important they are, to uplift them, to make them feel better. I will spend all day and night talking to someone in need. I'm available whenever you need for advice, for whatever I can give to help you along your journey, because that to me is part of what being a soul is, and the interaction. People come into your life for a reason, a season, or a lifetime. And whether you're in my life for a day, a moment, or my entire life, I'm going to treat you exactly the way I want you to treat me. And everything that I give you is hopefully what I will get back in return. but everything I give you is with no expectation of return whatsoever. So who wants to go first and tell me, who are you? Unmute, Miss Amanda.
Hello, Miss Shaz. All right. So I was writing down heaps of things because we spoke about this previously, and I'm thinking, well, who am I? I know who I was, and I know that it was far away from where I am now. And the way I used to put my life, I used to think about my life, and if I went through what happened in my life, you'd go, well, why are you even sane, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the way I used to look at my life was, I'm looking for an answer to a question, but I don't know what the question is. Mm-hmm. And that's how I felt for a very long time. Like, I knew that I had a bigger purpose. I knew that I just knew that there was something that I should be doing. So, I've been impatient. I've been angry. I've been all of the things that I don't admire in a person. I've been that person. And so I've strategically worked on the aspects of what, like, do unto others as you'd like others to do unto you. Well, every way that I wanted to be treated, I made a really conscious effort to go and do that for somebody else. And that brought a lot of calmness to my whole being, which then allowed me to then not worry about what people were thinking about me, because I was putting out this really positive energy, but then work on myself in how I'm going to take that further. So the words that sort of come to mind, I don't suffer fools easily. And if you do someone else wrong, you're pretty much going to have me to deal with. But it'll be a quick assassination, and then I'll move on.
I love
it.
You
know what I mean? Like, and I won't have much emotion about it, but you'll know when it's coming. So integrity is one of the things that I put down. Honesty, to share love, to give strength, to lift and inspire, to make happy, to give acceptance, to help guide, to love and care. So there are the sort of things that I want to be known for, really. I want that to be my essence and who I am going forward. So that's me.
Perfect. Lynn?
It's really hard when you say, who am I? You nailed it. And, what do I stand for? So it was great listening to Amanda, because not going into everything that's happened to me, but I've had a pretty, a background of maybe abuse is the right thing. But for me is, I actually want to stand for helping empower other women and help them, give them strength, and be kind. And it's just amazing if you can see people, that might be anxious or whatever, but if you can just say hello to them, you can see them calm down, and you go, hi. And I had my 60th birthday this year, and my son made a speech, and he said, I used to be embarrassed when I was younger, but my mother would always talk to anyone, didn't matter who they were. And he said it was like living with dementia, because there was a new person in your life every day and you're just talking shit or something like that. And I suppose for me is that it doesn't have to be women, but I feel that I want to do it for women, but there's also men that have got the same struggle. So it's not exclusive. And I just want to be and live happily and make people happy and smile and laugh and help people where I can.
Beautiful. Next. Karina?
Hi. Well, I know exactly who I am. It wasn't hard
Wonderful.
for me. And I wrote down, I am a starseed. And I'm here to play my role in raising the vibration of humanity.
Fantastic. My kind of person.
And that's it from me.
What do you stand for?
I stand integrity as well. Integrity, kindness, 100% above and beyond everything else, and honesty.
Beautiful. Awesome.
Thank you.
Who wants to go next?
I'll go next. Josie.
Josie, is it? Sorry, it's got a P on my end.
It's Josie. How are you? Who am I? I know I'm a healer.
Yep.
I've done Reiki. I've got my Reiki masters. I've done all that journey. And again, I stand for honesty. I'm a little bit too honest at times, but I can't stand bullshit. I'm going to be honest. I do not like it. I can see it, and I will call it.
Me too.
Call it. And kindness, always. And I'm very much empowering women, because some women can be the worst. We can tear each other down as quick as we can build each other up.
Yep.
We're really bad like that. So, but yeah, I don't stand for that either. But yeah, kindness, integrity, honesty, and don't bullshit, basically.
Beautiful.
Yeah. Thank you.
Fantastic.
I'll go next. I'm actually Kirsten, not post PA. I've come through on my work Zoom.
That's okay.
Yeah, they were interesting questions. I haven't really thought of it in that way in a very long time. I guess I am a spiritual person. I have been from a very young age. Like Josie, I did a lot of metaphysics and parapsychology coming through. But I kind of got a little bit sidetracked, I feel. And I'm coming back to it all again now. I guess I try to come from a heart space, a soul space, when I can, although I am from a very long inherited line of short fuses. So I have to be careful there. I am a teacher. I literally am a dance teacher, but I find like often my students will say to me, Miss Kirsten, you're so smart, you know everything about everything. And I don't. They just think I do. But because to me, I'm teaching young ladies. Yes, I'm teaching them dance, but I'm teaching children, young ladies, like even, when they're speaking to their mothers, I'm like, don't speak to mummy like that. Let's be nice to mummy. La, la, la. It comes out in many other ways, especially with the teenage girls, because teenage girls are often very spiritual. So they seem to tap into me, and we end up talking about crystals and auras and etc. So I feel like I am a teacher. I am a teacher of dance, but especially for the children, I am a teacher. I'm a very passionate person, which is great, but it has a light side and a dark side. So if it's something that I'm passionate about, that is good, I'm very outspoken in that regard. But also if it's something that I don't like, I'm very passionate about that as well. But I think I need to define those two questions a little more, who I am and what I stand for. Some of it is still in place, but yeah, I got a bit sidetracked through my 30s and 40s. And so now I think I'm circling back around and coming back to it all again. I mean, when I was traveling, it was very, very spiritual and very, very focused. But then I guess life got in the way, and I had to sort through that. And now, yeah, like I said, I'm getting back to it all again now.
Fantastic.
Sorry, I haven't got much of a voice, but these two questions are probably two of the things that I absolutely hate the most about myself, and then I don't know that I can answer them. And I don't think I've been able to answer them for a really, really long time. And I think it's quite an emotional thing for me as well. I feel like from a very young age, I've tried to be a people pleaser.
Yep.
And I'm incredibly passionate about lots of things and helping other people, but I quite often don't think about myself, and I put everyone before me. Sorry, I didn't realise I'd see this is so emotional.
It's hard, and they're triggers for you, but do you understand that this emotion, and it's one of the slides that I'll go through very shortly, this emotion, this trigger that you're having is because that's no longer your truth. That's who you were. Okay, but you don't believe who you are now. So you're stuck in the pattern and the pre-program existence of being a people pleaser.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, I can bet you right now, you don't people please. And you do please yourself and you do put yourself first. You just aren't at the phase where you are aligned with it.
Yeah.
And that is something that you learn again.
Yeah. And I think, you know, when I look back at, you know, what I've done in my life as well, as I feel like I've just been this bouncing ball, and I've quite literally bounced all over the planet, you know, in, you know, countries across the world, and just trying to figure out, you know, the big question for me is, where do I belong?
Mm-hmm.
I haven't been able to answer that question for a really long time.
Okay, but why? Are you asking where do you belong or what do you belong to? Because they can be two totally different questions. And one is trying to fit into a mold of other people's making, and one is fitting into a mold of your own.
And I think a big part of it is I've been fighting what other people think I should be doing and where I should be and where I should be, you know.
Well, that's where you come have some coaching with me, and I'll teach you how to tell them to fuck off.
Well, I've started doing
Easy
that
done.
this year. You know,
Good girl.
I've done a big thing by stepping away from a lot of the traditional of what I should be doing. And,
Beautiful.
you know, I've never felt so free actually, but still trying to figure out what I'm supposed to be doing with, you know, with myself and which direction I'm going. Because I feel like I'm very confused about there's moments of clarity. And I think that, you know, some of the things that I do in my life, and, you know, I also teach young children. I'm also teaching people to be teachers of young children, which lights me up.
Yep.
You know, early childhood education and creating amazingly rich education for young children is one of the most undervalued things in this country. And, you know, I'm trying really hard to play a very small part in making a difference for those around me, and obviously teaching others how to do that as well. Hopefully that will be some more people as well. But I wear my heart on my sleeve, and you know, quite often people say to me, you wear your heart on your sleeve, you just, you know, people come along and break it left, right, and centre.
Yeah,
And
but you're just an empath. Do you understand that, right?
Oh, absolutely. And I've been told many times that my emotional intelligence is off scale, because, you know, I actually feel, you know, other people's issues and that kind of stuff, and I'll try and fix them. You know, I try to help them.
That's what an empath is. It's the
Yeah,
pure meaning of an empath.
Yeah, so yeah, I mean, bringing it back to those questions, not real sure. I tend to use humor a lot just to sort of try and get through a lot of things, and quite often people think I'm sort of the jokester, and I default to self-deprecation quite a lot as well.
Yep. The safety mechanism.
Absolutely. And if you want to talk about, you know, the Great Wall of China that's been built up around me, yeah, absolutely, it's quite considerable. But, you know, I'm also very much into, I have a very, very open mind in, you know, I'll consider everything, thinking outside the box. To have my child, I had to think outside the box. And,
Beautiful.
you know, it's not something I'm afraid of doing. That's why I'm here. But I consider that to be, you know, one of my greatest strengths as well, is that I'm prepared to look outside the box and to look at what is possible.
Fantastic.
And that excites me.
Awesome.
Thank you, everyone.
They're all great things. Who wants to go next?
I do this, me.
Yep.
Okay. You can hear me?
Mm-hmm.
I've done it right? Oh, good. That's good. Okay. I am a total people's person. I love life. I love being happy. I think I have a really good disposition. I really like to get things done. I think everything in life happens for a reason, no matter what it is, and you have to work that out.
Yep.
I do believe people come in and out of your life to teach you lessons. I really believe that when we are born, we choose. We choose our life. Choose our path, because they're lessons that we need to learn. And when anything is really hard, and I get really unhappy or I just can't cope, my favorite saying is, this too shall pass.
Yep.
And I talk to God. I
Fantastic.
am not religious. One of my sons, Lynette will know this, who I'm talking about, goes, God and religion is the same thing. I'm going, no, it's not.
No, it's not.
They're two different things. You know, God's life, religion's a rule. They're
Yeah.
very, very different. And I think he has been there for me since I was a little kid. You know, I don't, you know, not a perfect life, not perfect scenarios, but they were what I chose.
Mm-hmm.
So I had to learn from those mistakes, those good times, those bad. I really believe in karma. Believe in my spirits that are with me and guide me.
Beautiful.
You always must challenge yourself for new things. You can't stay in the same box,
Mm-hmm.
because then you just become in that box. So you're not looking outside of it. So you must always look outside. I love telling people, like I'll be walking through a supermarket or something and I'll see someone, and I don't just say it because I don't mean it. If I see someone, I go, oh my God, I love what you're wearing. I love this. You know, like, wow, what a great smile. Or they do something nice, or they say something to the cashier or whatever. I have to comment, you know, because I think that's what life's about. So making people feel good. Integrity is really important to me.
Mm-hmm.
And I was in sales, you know, for many years, and my name is my word.
Yeah.
So if someone said to me, a boss said, oh, we'll just brush over that, it was like, no. And so it was when I started in this business, I said to Lynette, I have to try the products. I have to see how I feel. I can't just go out there and just go, yeah, this is great, because I need to be really positive about what I'm doing.
Mm-hmm.
And I started in November last year, and I said to Lynette, not as a customer, oh, I'll join up. I don't know why, but I did. And I've sat there, and in the last 2 weeks, I decided I'll get motivated and get moving on this, because I thought, I feel really good. And I can't believe that you take a step, and it's always the way I look at everything I've ever done in life. You take a step out of your comfort zone, and boy, it is amazing what actually comes. I mean, I have driven Lynette, Amanda, Lindy crazy with stupid questions. Now I just ring Lynette going, oh my God, this is happening. Oh my God, I've got someone, and I'm talking to this, and blah, blah, blah. And it's just, it's exciting. And you know what? We need to be excited in life. You know, if we're not excited about something, then we just don't go anywhere. We don't do anything. It's just one day and it's the same, sitting on the lounge, watching TV overnight, you know, walking the dogs, just, you know, whatever, shopping and just doing what you do. You have to, in my mind, for me, get out there, do what you have to do. If you find something, you got to grab it, and then you got to move.
Perfect.
Oh, in saying this, I am having texts from my son and from his business partner going, get out of that stupid business, da-da-da-da-da-da-da. This is all crap. And I'm just going, like, if you want to deface, oh, my son, if you want to deface, you know, delete me on Facebook, go for it. I'm not going to change. Like, do what you have to do. It's not my problem. Do not try and, you know, hold me to ransom, because, you know, far out. I feel as though all through marriage sometimes that happens, you know. I am not doing that anymore. So that's me.
Fantastic. I love it. So I take it Rosalind, because she's out somewhere, won't share.
Rosalind, are you able to share now?
Hi, sweetie. Thank you. My apologies for not being able to turn my camera on. I'm in a dungeon at the moment, literally.
Awesome.
But I am here and I'm listening to you, and I'm hearing everybody's stories, and they're amazing. And thank you everybody for sharing, because that's just
so real and raw, which is amazing. But great questions. Who are you and who do you stand for? I was one of those angry mums who used to smack my kids and be that, would fly off the handle from 0 to 100 in, 0.2 seconds, and feeling not good enough and not worthy, and, lots of resentment, and always wearing a mask and being that people pleaser, which I think 90% of the people have just said that as well. I think we're a world of people pleasers, but it's really nice to be around people that are understanding, and a great bunch of women that are understanding and not judgmental, I guess. So my eldest daughter had some, quite a few mental health issues, and I guess mine didn't help either, which is when I went on a journey to kind of find out who I was and what I was doing and where my place was in this world, and came across the modality that absolutely helped. And I'm now no longer an angry mum. I feel amazing and really good about myself and do what pleases me. And, and I don't have any of those beliefs anymore, because that's all they were. It was just beliefs, and, stumbled upon, the world of epigenetics, and that's an amazing theory, of how we carry our genes and how they're embedded into us, unfortunately. So a lot of the times the way we're feeling is not really us. It's, carried on from our ancestors. But anyway, making that change was just, a liberating feeling, which is great. And I no longer smack my kids and listen, and, have mastered the art of listening, which is great. So I think, what I stand for is change and growth. Growth is just my favorite word in the whole world. And, we're all here on a journey, and, just to not, come from a place of love, and, just really changes the way you see things and look at people, and, and come from a place of understanding. So it's a great place to be. I think we always have work to do on ourselves, and we never really, there's always something new to learn, and, something to change, and always room for growth.
Fantastic.
That's me in a nutshell.
Awesome. So that was everyone, right?
No, we have one little share.
Sandra.
Yeah.
I can't remember whether she did it or not. That was my thing.
Yeah, no, she has been like, you see the wallpaper behind
procrastinating
her, that she blends in. But, I've been watching her squirm for the last 5 minutes. And there was a time when Sandra had to do her first post and on Facebook, and she was stressing me, and I can't tell you the words that were used, but they were powerful. And I said, just do it. And she did. So this is one of those moments, Sandra, just
do it.
Do it.
We don't write much.
Hun, you don't have to. You want to pass? Because I know what's going on. You can pass. Yeah, we'll pass. Okay.
It's okay. It's, as I said, there's no pressure for anything. I'm not that type of person at all. But if you don't share it here, just share it and think about it for yourself, because it's highly important. And it's extremely important to understand who you are, not what people label you. Okay. I am so amazed and so excited about you women, because not one of you in here turned around and said, I'm a mother. Okay. It's a label, and it's only a very small portion of what you are, right? Because we get taught that once we're a parent, that's the first and foremost part of who we are, but it's not. It's a very minor part of ourselves. Yeah, Rosalind said she was an angry parent, but that was part of the personality where her anger showed up, because that just happened to be where it played out. But yeah, there were no labels. These were beautiful scenarios of who and what you are. And if anything, we've all had journeys, right? We've all been through hell. And I raise my hand and I'll go tit for tat for anyone that wants to tell me how hard their life's been. and go through, I can do shit story for shit story. I've had 3 psychologists quit on me because they can't hear the shit that I've been through in my life. And to me, it doesn't mean that much. No matter what you've been through, no matter where you've been, you're a survivor. You've already defeated what you've been through. Okay. We are not a victim. We are a survivor. Embrace anything that you've been taught, empower yourself with those lessons, and you're a fucking superpower. There is nothing you can't do if you shift that mindset from victimhood to survivorship. Okay. And I don't care if you're in the middle of a battle, whether it's like, it doesn't matter. You've already survived whatever you're going through, because the minute you don't survive is the minute that you're dead. Okay. Same as the minute you stop learning is the minute that we die. You want to give up on life? Stop learning, go into existence mode, and nothing will happen moving forward. I'm going to go back to sharing the screen, okay? And we'll get back into the presentation when I find out where it went. Not that one. Lost it. There it is, down there. Okay. So one of my favorite things to get everybody to understand is vibration is everything and energy matters. In this type of business, when you are in a MLM, I don't care what your type of business is on Facebook, center yourself before you post, put love in energy, think compassionate thoughts, be kind in whatever you're doing vibrationally before you put it out on socials. If you go and meditate for a couple of minutes, center yourself and really sit in the heart space and come from your heart center and post from that perspective, you will get hundreds more comments, so much more. People can feel vibration whether you think they can or not, right? So the energy that you have, if you're sitting there going, oh my God, I hate posting on Facebook and this is just so annoying and there's kids screaming in the background and all this shit matters, that will impact the energy of the post that you're putting out there. So be very mindful of what you're doing when you're sharing yourself. Sit and center yourself. It takes 30 seconds to center yourself and draw your energy into your heart space. If you really struggle to do it, just imagine your heart space opening in a beautiful pink bubble of light, and that's our compassionate space. And anything that you post, anything that you share, do it from the heart of compassion and from unconditional love. And you watch the difference in the responses that you get. It truly makes a difference. And I've conducted tests on it, and I watch the difference, and I monitor my posts. I can tell you which ones will succeed by what vibration I put into it before I put it out there. Okay. Everything is energy. It doesn't matter where it sits in life, and it's what you do with that energy that makes the difference. The higher the vibration that you sit, if you need to feel pumped and powerhouse, rock it out, play some music, do some high vibrational stuff, but maintain that vibe high when you're doing your socials or whatever connection that you had in your conversations. I sit there and sometimes you do the whole question before you reply. If you get triggered and stuff like that, is this kind? Is this what I want to be known for? Because once something goes out there, it's there forever. Okay, it doesn't matter how far you try and hide it. You get memories and it resurfaces, and someone else can always see it and share it again. One of the things I'm most passionate about is helping people work through their triggers. A trigger is an unaligned state within the body. So it's where the physiology and the unconscious, subconscious, and conscious mind are in disagreement. So it shows up in our body. So when we get anxiety, we get depression, we cry, we have meltdowns, all of these are versions of triggers. We are triggered when what is being said or done to us is no longer the truth. So if I was to say to everyone, oh my God, you're so beautiful, you're either going to 100% believe it, or you're going to be, if you hate yourself that much, you're going to deny it and go, yeah, whatever, idiot. Okay, so whatever anyone says to us is complete belief or complete disbelief. They're the two spectrums, and the trigger lies in the middle. But the trigger lies when it's a learned or a repeated pattern of stuff people have said to you. So for me, I've been told that I'm fat all my life, and people used to say it to me, it used to piss me off, right? Now you can tell me I just don't give a shit. Yeah, I know I'm fat and I'm working on it, but it doesn't trigger me anymore because my body is what it is, and I love my body for exactly where it's at. it has found alignment. So you can tell me whatever you like about my body, and quite frankly, for the most part of my life, nobody's opinion matters but my own. If it triggers me, the first question I ask is, what is this teaching me? Is that my truth? Is that what I want to believe? Is that where I want to stay? And if not, I shift and change it. I do the work, I clear it, I'll do whatever I have to do to find the alignment and re-solidify the new belief of what I am. Okay, yeah, my body might be bigger than what it's meant to be, but it's pretty fit and healthy. I don't get sick, I can do what I need to do. It's functional, but I'm also physically working on shifting that for myself, not for anybody else. Okay, the more people told me I was fat, the more weight I gained. The more people told me, oh my God, you look great, you're losing weight, the more sarcastic it became and the more weight I gained. It's about my opinion of what matters in that aspect. And whatever you're triggered by, it is because your subconscious, unconscious, and conscious mind don't agree. But you can change them and bring them back into alignment by doing work. And I do it through shadow work, through EFT, through Ho'oponopono, through Reiki healing, whatever it may be. So anytime that you're triggered, just ask yourself one simple question: what is this teaching me? And is this my truth? Because I can bet you it's not. It's usually something that somebody else has told you. My mother used to tell me I was fat when I had I was the skinniest kid on the block, and she used to tell me I was fat, and then I started getting fat. I used to say I've been 5'8" since I was 12 years old. I stopped growing up, started growing out. My waist you put two fingers together, and that was the size of my waist when I was 11 years old. And that's when she started telling me I was fat, because she was. But I didn't know how to handle it. And these are aspects that it becomes a mindset. Yeah, I was fat, so I go and eat chocolate and junk food and do whatever I could to make myself unhealthy. But it's a choice now what I decide to do about it. And your triggers are a choice. You are only ever triggered when you are ready for change. And that change needs to be solidified and cemented into your psyche. And however you choose to do that is up to you. If you need to understand or want to know how to do it, this is what I do. This is my passion of helping people release their triggers. Okay, and I don't care if your triggers are anxiety, depression, whatever they may be, crying, upset, anger, fear, anything. They all can be released because it's no longer your truth. And that's the only reason you'll ever be triggered. Okay, life lessons and how to get the most out of them. Everything that we've been through, every single thing that has ever happened in your life is some sort of lesson. If you go and learn your lesson and you find out what that, as I said, my favorite question each and every day, what is this teaching me? What have these episodes taught you? And there are journaling techniques that I can teach you of how to work out what happened, how to get from where you were to where you are, to work out what the life lessons were. If you empower yourself with those life lessons, you'll never get on a roundabout of repeat, rinse and recycle. We get into cycles where we repeat the same lessons because we don't get them the first time. So who's all had that relationship in life where it ended shit and then you went out and got a new relationship and you found another person that was exactly the same? Whether that's a love relationship, work relationship, friendship. These are all factors of people coming into our lives to teach us a lesson. Learn the lesson and we'll never go through it again. So understand what your life lessons are. They are here to empower you. They are here to give you the strength and the wherewithal and the knowledge of who you are. If you really struggled with that question, who am I? Go and find out what your life lessons taught you. Okay, I'm a survivor. I have had, no kidding, 7 or 8 near-death experiences. I should have died in the womb, should have died at 6 months old when I was in a car accident, should have died at 5-year-old and these were before I was 10. When I overheated so bad, I had a temperature of 43.5 degrees. And any kid that ever gets that is dead. It's not a conducive of life thing. And back when I had it back in 1978, the cure to fix you was to stick you in an ice bath for 4 hours. Okay, I shouldn't have survived it, but I have a purpose. I've had 6 near-death experiences alone as an adult. So they've been best part of close to a dozen. I just don't keep track of them all. But each one taught me something. And the most important thing that I argue with Spirit and Archangel Michael a lot over is that I'm here for a purpose and my purpose is not done. Otherwise, I would have crossed over. And trust me, there were times where I wanted to. So work out what your powerful life lessons are teaching you, because that is what you are here to teach other people. They are the steps that you will use to enlighten others, to empower others, to uplift others. Whether it's men, women, or children, it doesn't matter. It is the way you come across to others and use them to your best of. They are there for your strengths, right? For me, strength was a 4-letter word. I lost my business back in 2018. My business partner ripped me off and I lost everything. And it was the second time I'd done it. And I'm like, fuck, I'm over this. And I told my spirit guides, Archangel Michael, I used to call him a CUNT, told him to fuck off. I was done. I was never doing it again. And he kept telling me, but you're so strong, you'll get through this. And I told him, if you send me one more person to tell me that I'm strong, I'm going to punch them. He sent me a 75-year-old woman, of which when she told me, I turned around and I turned sideways and looked at Archangel Michael and told him he was a CUNT. And she goes, oh my God, what? And I told her, I said, the next person to come and tell me that I was strong, I was going to hit them. And she said to me, you won't hit me, dear. And I said, and he knows that. Anybody else I would have, because it was such a nasty word to me. I didn't want to be strong. I needed someone to uplift me. And then I found a coach who told me that you are your own rescue. There is no one there to pull you out of the shit that you're in. You have to do it yourself. And that was my kick up the pants. And that was where I found my inner strength. And that's where I learned the lesson of, if it didn't kill you, if you're not a victim, you're already a survivor. If it didn't kill you, then use the strength and the survivorship of what it is to create. And so I started bartering as to what you want me to do next. If I do this, then you do that. And this is where I become today. Use those lessons. They will make you everything that you ever want. And they're there for a purpose, because your soul wanted to learn them. And I don't care what you've been through in life, your soul wanted to experience it. And your soul has been the opposite of it at some time in their lifetime. For everything. Whatever you've experienced, you have been the perpetrator of that too. And I'm a victim of sexual abuse. And trust me, it disgusts me, but it's the truth. Okay, so align yourself with your shadow self. In your shadow self, this is all the parts. Rosalind, you know how you said that you were an angry mama? This is where you align yourself with that anger, because it's part of you. There's no shame in it. But the good part about it is it didn't overtake you. It didn't eat you alive. It didn't succumb everything that you chose to be. You chose to work on it, but it's no good pushing it down and pretending it didn't exist. You need to bring these into alignment and find acceptance for all the shadow aspects. Shadow aspects are overconfidence, where we think people are conceited. Have you ever found someone that's extremely confident? You think, oh, what a conceited, or they're up themselves or whatever. These are shadow aspects that they're using to their best of their ability. People think being selfish is a shadow thing. Being number one in life, you're number one, is a necessity. If you're not number one, how are you going to fill anyone else's cup? Okay, there are shadow aspects of self that are your greatest superpowers, but it depends on how you incorporate them into self. Blocking down the nasty comments and beating yourself up for saying, oh my God, so-and-so's a shithead, or having a bad opinion about someone. And always remember that any opinion you have about anybody else is a reflection of yourself, or you wouldn't see it in them. Okay, so think about where you've been that at some time, and forgive yourself, release it, and let it go, and align it with yourself today. Aligning it does not mean being it. It means incorporating it into self and choosing to be better. And we all have the power to choose to be better. We get to choose how we react. We get to choose how we act. And it's up to each and every one of us to move forward based on that decision each and every day. You can choose to be an arsehole. There's plenty out there, and they find great success because they own it. Okay? Look at the world. Go look at some of the elite and rich people. They're conceited pigs, and they succeed because they own their shit. Stay true to your vision. Each and every one of us has a different vision for our life, and your vision is yours alone, and it's unique to you. Okay, if I was to sit here and open up and ask everyone, what is your vision for your business? What does it look like? What do you want to achieve? What do you want to accomplish? How many days do you want to work? How much money do you want to make? Where do you want to go? Where do you want to live? We all have a different opinion. Your vision is yours and yours alone. You can share it with the world. It doesn't matter, but stay true to your vision. Do not let anybody else tempt you away from your vision. Do not let anybody else describe your vision. It is yours and yours alone. If you can see it, attach emotion to it and feel it, you can accomplish it. And I don't care how stupid it is. If you want to look at it from the perspective of, remember when you're a 5-year-old at school and you ask every kid in the class, what do they want to be? And someone will put up, I want to be a nurse, I want to be a doctor, I want to be a firefighter, I want to be an astronaut. The only kid that'll ever be the astronaut is the one that said so, because the rest don't think it. Never at any stage of my life have I ever said I wanted to be a nurse, because it's the worst thing I could think of. But I highly respect them. I think they are one of the most beautiful people on the planet, but I've never wanted to be one. It's not in my vision. It's not part of who I am. And your vision and your purpose and your life story is yours alone. If you are struggling with your life purpose and don't understand what you're here for, go and think what you want to be when you grow up. When I was a kid, all I ever said is I wanted to be a teacher. And everyone said to me, oh, you want to be a school teacher? I couldn't think of anything worse, because I don't believe in the education system we have today, because I think it's brainwashing and I don't align with it whatsoever. But I am a teacher. I'm a spiritual teacher. I'm a mentor. I'm a leader. I'm someone here to teach people about the soul and the purpose and the well-being of the growth of the human and the reason that we incarnate on earth. And that's my teaching vision. And nobody could, I have not been on this path all of my life, but it's always come back to it. And it didn't matter what sort of jobs I was doing, I was always teaching people something. Every part of every day I would teach someone something. It didn't matter what it was. And I choose purposefully to go and learn something new every day. I make sure I expand my mind daily, because how can I teach someone else anything if I'm not expanding my own? Okay, intuitive action and flow with the universe. This is about listening to your gut instinct, and when it tells you to do something, going and doing it. You can get, especially in this type of business, you can have someone tell you what to post, how to post, all the words, all the images, everything can be supplied to you, and then your own action about it will come into it. Do it. It may be the timing of the day of what time you decide to post, or how you sit in energy and how you do it. This action is in every aspect of your life. If you get an intuitive nudge or a thought in the brain to go and drink water today instead of tea and coffee, go and do it. That's creating flow. When we have flow with the universe, all the doors open. If you're running through life and you're going through hurdles and everything's being shut in your face, these are pivots. These are directions from the universe to show you you're not going on the pathway that's best for you. When you're in flow, life is easy. There is no struggle. There is no nothing. It just comes to you. And it's from that flow space that you take the intuitive action when it's given. And it's an internal thing from the universe, not an external thing from someone else. You can take somebody else's model and copy it word for word, and it won't work for you until you put your own intuitive action into it. And whether that's to shift some words, to do it from a different space, change the color, whatever it may be, put your own take on it. And it's highly important. Most of all, when your intuition or your thought process, whatever you want to call it, the universe nudges you to do something, make sure you go and do it, and do it straight away. This is one of my favorite thought processes in the universe, and a lot of people don't realize it. It's called the 80-20 rule, and it's by a gentleman, I think it's Pareto. It's down the bottom of the slide and I can't see it today. And this 80-20 rule exists in every area of our life. We only have the capacity to focus on 20% of anything at a time. So we're all women. Who can look at their wardrobe and tell me what they think is in their wardrobe? We've all got an expensive wardrobe, right? I got bucket loads of clothes I don't even look at. Do you know at any given time, for whatever period and season especially, we only ever wear 20% of our wardrobe 80% of the time. So you may have 5,000 shirts, you're only living in 20% of them 80% of the time. We reach for the same outfits over and over and over again for whatever reason. Okay, and it's fact. You can take it to every aspect of your life. In the sales factor, 80% of your sales will come from 20% of your customers. So you'll have a customer base, or for example, I got 5,000 people on my Facebook. I only need to focus on 20% of those to get 80% of my income. And if you find your 20% and spend 80% of your energy into that, that's where you're going to get the greatest return. We spend 80% of our time on that missing 80%, and it's a waste of time and money because they're never our salespeople. So find out who your salespeople are, nurture your salespeople, turn them into a return salespeople, and that's where you have your greatest success. This is a great rule when it comes to goal setting. Who all writes daily goals or lists of things that you want to get done? I dare you to write 10 goals down, and I can guarantee you'll only ever really focus on and achieve 2. So write down your 10 goals, go and put them in order of most importance and spend 80% of the time achieving the first one. And then you'll get to the second one and you'll find how far down the list the rest get. You'll never get to the bottom of the list until you focus and clear the first one. Meditation and visualization. So many people think this is all about seeing and focusing inward and seeing magical things flying through the air, and it's actually not. Meditation is the process of quietening the mind, and we do that through focusing on the breath. So sit for 20 seconds, 30 seconds at a time, I don't care, and just breathe and just repeat in and out. Clear your mind of everything else, and then allow yourself to visualize. Now, when we visualize, it doesn't necessarily mean see. Visualization can be feeling, hearing, seeing, tasting, sensing. It involves all 5 senses. And it is the process of knowing and coming to terms with what you dream into existence, what you bring into existence. I use all my 5 clairs. When I was a child, I had clairvoyance so clearly that I could see dead people the same as I've seen live people. I literally couldn't tell the difference. That's how visual I was, and it was taken away from me. So when I see now, I see outlines. When you see, these could be symbols, these could be repetitive things, repetitive numbers, simple messages from the universe to talk to you. If you are highly clairvoyant and your third eye is really open, you will see true visualizations like a movie screen. Whatever your visualization turns up in, use the process of meditation to get clarity on it. Whether you need to sit and stare at something open-eyed and allow things to run through your head, but it's that quiet process where the universe gets to talk to you, because it only ever talks to us in the pause, in that quietness of the creation. That's where we get most of our inspiration. So every day I highly suggest spending at least 5 minutes on meditating and visualizing. And that can be writing down what you think is going to happen, right? Some people visualize in words. Some people visualize in symbols and signs. Some people visualize in movie reels. Use it however you do it. I personally, I'm clairaudient, so I hear my visualizations. They will talk to me and I can write pages and pages of stuff. And when I see things, I actually see words. It's just different for everyone. Find out how you do it for self. When we're setting goals in life, there are 3 areas where we need to set goals. Remember how I talked about setting the 10 goals? You need to have at least 10 or 2 each in the 3 different areas of your life: in business and career, in personal and family, and in self-improvement. This is where you find balance and alignment in your life. We get focused and we start to focus only on business career goals, especially when you're starting a new business. But if you don't have these other 2 goals in place, you're going to get distracted and your life is going to be out of balance, and you're going to lose relationships. You're going to lose yourself. It is highly important to focus on all 3 areas equally and give yourself time and attention to do it. Most people forget, and it's something that's not overly taught, especially in any business coaching and things like that, or when you look at it, they don't ask you to consider it, but it is highly important. And it's focusing on these. They only need to be 2 of each, because that's all the capacity of attention that we have in the 80-20 rule to focus on anyway. But make sure that you have goals in all 3 areas of your life, because it will make a difference in the area of success. This is one of my favorite things that I learned. There's a lady called Mel Robbins, and she's a coach online, and I'm not sure if everybody's ever heard of her, but She's written a book and she talks a lot about this rule, and it's called the 5-second rule. And you count down whenever you get an inspiration to do something, right? Just say you have the inspiration of going to get a drink of water. Literally, you have 5 seconds to go and do it, or your brain's going to distract you. If you have an inspiration to go and make a post, you have 5 seconds to go and do it, or your brain is going to distract you, sabotage you, you procrastinate, you get in your own way. Whenever it happens, if you want to do it, a lot of people start from 1 and count up, but you can start from 1 and keep counting. Whereas when you start from 5 and go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, then act, there's nothing to get in your way. So I don't care. At the moment, I'm trying to exercise and I get inspiration to exercise. And mind you, they give me the inspiration to exercise in the middle of a call where I can't act, but go and do it straight away, because otherwise you'll find every excuse under the sun not to do it. Use this. Who likes to lie in bed doesn't like to get up? It's one of the best ways to get out of bed. When you want to get out of bed, count 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 and move. Because once you get to 1, you can't go backwards. It's not like you can go -1, -2, etc., unless you're silly. But it's a great action taking technique for whatever you want to do. And especially when there are things or tasks that you don't want to do. If you write a daily list and there's a number of tasks that you go, I don't want to do this one, count down 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go and do it. And it's easy, it's done. It stops all your procrastination, all your self-sabotage, all the ways of getting in your own way, and all the ways that you can stop achieving all your goals, tasks, or activities throughout the day. There are 12 spiritual and universal laws in life, and everyone's heard of law of attraction, right? It is the most common universal law that we all know about, but there are actually 12 of them. They're called the 12 universal laws. I call them the 12 spiritual laws, same sort of thing. I'll just give you a quick overview of the 12 laws. The first one is the law of divine oneness. Everything in life is connected. Every person, every being, every item, everything. We are all connected in one way or another. And every thought and action that we have has a reaction and an interaction with everything else on the planet. Okay? If your thought is to chop down a tree, it has an action on the tree. You're taking away oxygen, you're cutting down wood. All of these things, they all interact, right? So everything interacts with others. If you want to get the best out of this law and to really enhance the law of divine oneness, show compassion or be compassionate to other people. Use compassion to create. Okay? When you sit in a compassionate space or offer unconditional love, you are creating way for everything else. The second law is law of vibration. Everything is constantly in motion. We see things as static, like you think a chair is a chair. It's actually a vibrational frequency. And if you tune into that frequency, it moves and it floats. Nothing is solid, nothing. Everything is vibration. Everything has a tone, a frequency, and an energy. One of the greatest vibrations that people forget to consider and to look at is the vibration of money. If you are having money blocks or able to earn money and then find that you spend it straight away, you can't save money, that is a vibrational frequency or an inequality or unalignment within yourself about money. You can fix these things. These are beliefs that you can change. And keeping money and obtaining money and creating true wealth is a vibrational frequency that your energy must match in order to have it. 3 is the law of correspondence, which translates to as above, so below, or as within, so without. So everything's happening for you, not to you. Everything in life is happening for your benefit. Ask yourself, what is this teaching me? What is the lesson I can learn this? How can I create this? Everything that happens is based on your thoughts. If you're having a shit time, let me tell you, you're having shit thoughts. If you live in fear and you're constantly in anxiety and you're constantly beating yourself up, you're going to create an outside existence that treats you like garbage. Shift your thinking, sit in a positive vibration. If you live in high vibe, happy thoughts, think the sky's the limit, go out and do things, be kind and compassionate to others, let me tell you, that is your existence. It is in your power to create it. The law of attraction, which basically comes down to like attracts like, vibrate at a level that manifests and magnetizes you to the things that you want in life. The law of inspired action, that's where we go back to the intuitive action. It's the center or the internal nudge to go and do something. It is the guidance that we get, whether it's from God, source, the universe, angels, beings, light beings, whoever the entity that you want to call it is where we create space for internal guidance. Utilize this law for the visualization, the creation process. This is where the invention comes, right? In the quietness of the mind. That is where we find the most greatest inspiration ever. The law of perpetual transmutation of energy. The energy is constantly evolving and fluctuating, and every action is preceded by a thought, and those thoughts are manifested into physical reality. So if you're thinking hatred things, you're going to manifest hatred. If you're thinking loving things, you're going to manifest love. If you're thinking wondrous things about money, about growth, about potential, all of that will manifest into reality. Okay, so actively seek to uplift negative energy. If you're thinking bad thoughts, stop them in their process. There's a process that Gabby Bernstein, one of my favorite spiritual teachers, taught us about, and it's called the holy instant. And that's where, just say you're thinking, oh my God, you're a bad person, or I hate myself, or whatever. You stop the thought in its process, you bring it out into the light and ask yourself, is that the truth, or is that what you really think? And you change that process and reiterate through affirmation, EFT, Ho'oponopono, whatever healing method it is, to instill your new truth. Stop negative thoughts and processes in their tracks. And if you practice this, and you can do it, I used to have a negative monkey mind, right, that told me all sorts of shit. And I lived in that vibration, and that's what my life became. But I stopped it. I don't have negative thoughts. My mind is either clear, or it's always giving me uplifting things, telling me how amazing it is. Go and do this, go and create that. Anytime I have a negative thought or outlook on myself, I go and do the internal work. Do it for yourself and watch the change in your physical reality. We are the masters of our universe, okay? The law of cause of effect, and that is every action has an equal and opposite reaction, whether it's good or bad, light and dark, black and white, hot and cold, etc., like that. There is a ripple effect for everything that you do. So do things with love, with compassion, with kindness, and create ripples of that, rather than anger, fear, negative, evil, jealousy, all of that. Thoughts have so much power, and we just let ourselves run away with them. Stop negative thoughts in their tracks. It's really bad for us. The law of compensation, which is you reap what you sow. Your efforts come back to you. So in this sort of business, the more you put out there, the more vibration, the more energy that you put out there will result in more sales and things like that. You consider how you can support others. If you do things for others freely, it will come back to you, usually in money, in acceptance, or in other vibrations. The law of relativity. This is the inclination to compare your perspective and perception with what really is. So instead of thinking judgmental and jealous thoughts and things like that, go and sit in gratitude, compassion, and appreciation instead. It's about shifting your vibration, thinking it's all relative to how you make it. As I say, you're not responsible for the action of others, but you are responsible for your reaction to it. You can give them power and overreact and react in a way that doesn't make you happy or make you aligned or authentic with who you are, or you can just take it on the chin, go and do the work and release it in other ways. The law of polarity, everything in life has an opposite. So love has an opposite of fear, good has an opposite of evil, black and white, light and dark, hot and cold, etc. So there's always two sides to things. You need to tune into the opposite for better growth. So if you're having a struggle, whatever your negative thought is, right? Just say you're living in fear or you're living in anxiety, tune into the opposite emotions and watch the shift. When you're living in compassion, it doesn't mean that you are burying your anxiety. It's how you heal it. It's how you encompass it and use it to grow. The law of rhythm. Cycles exist in everything in the universe, and it's easy to see in our daily cycle, in the seasons in the sky, everything. Everything in ourselves will not be exactly the same way all over time, right? So it's about how you think about things, right? And we can't always be thinking in the positive. It just doesn't work because there's cycles of it. But if you're not feeling well, that could be a sign for you to go and rest rather than to push through it. And you've all heard of toxic negativity, right? Toxic positivity is where we take negative feelings and we just push them down and let them be and pretend they don't exist. and go, oh my God, I'm so high vibe when we're feeling shit. Sometimes the feeling shit can be time out and can be time for rest, time for healing. Use the rhythm of what it is. That doesn't mean dwell on it and really submerge into it, but it means allow it to pass freely through you. And the last universal law is the law of gender. Everything has a masculine and feminine vibration and energy. And this is not about sex or whatever people choose to believe in on the spectrum, whether they're genderless or whatever. Everything has a vibration of masculine, divine masculine, and divine feminine. And it's how you use those vibrations. Divine masculine is highly logic and it's highly reason, like it's science and it's logical, it's proof, everything like that. Divine femininity is intuitive, it's compassionate, it's love, it's feeling. Okay, so one is thought process and one is feeling. Use the energy and the balance between the two to create the best things for you in life. And finally, the aspect of celebrate to elevate. Everything that you achieve, I don't care how small it is, if you get a sale, Rosalind, was it? I think, no, not Rosalind, the lady, Rhonda. She talked about how excited she was when somebody wanted to buy something. Celebrate the shit out of it, okay? Everything you celebrate, the higher you will elevate. If you celebrate every little thing, you'll have so much more to celebrate, and there's so much more that the universe will bring you. It's a vibrational frequency. Don't skip the celebration of things that you achieve, especially personal goals. We don't acknowledge how far we grow, how far we come in life, how much better we are in ourselves. Celebrate those successes so that you can have more. Because if you celebrate and acknowledge what you're doing for yourself right now, it will be easier to take the next steps to the next vibrational frequency. Okay. Any questions? Sorry, I'm trying to get the chat up. Got too many things open on my screen. I think someone asked, can you have a copy of the slides? Gladly. Comes in a zip file for some reason because they're created in Canva. And the 12 spiritual laws, I'm about to go and write a blog on my website, and I'll give you the link to that later. I haven't written it yet.
That would be great, please.
Yes, I'm going to write it from my own perspective as what they are.
What was the pogo you were mentioning? The poa or something?
Polarity.
No, after you we're talking about, Reiki and the different things.
Ho'oponopono.
Ho'oponopono, thank you. I've not heard of that.
I love Ho'oponopono. I'm in the middle of being certified for it. It's a gentleman called Joe Vitale, and it's a phrase of 4 things, which is I love you, I thank you, please forgive me, or I forgive you, and I'm sorry. So it's a repetition of that, and it's how we clear things. So it's using that vibration to clear unwanted emotions and clearing energy and space within self.
Great, thank you.
Sorry, was that Joe Vitale?
Yeah.
V-A-T?
V-I-T-A-L-E.
V-I-T-A-L-E.
Yeah, he's written a book called Return to Zero. I'd highly recommend it.
And who was the lady that you mentioned as well that you were studying? There's a lady.
Gabby Bernstein.
Gabby who? Bernstein.
Bernstein. Yeah, she's a spiritual speaker. She's got a book called Super Attractor. There's a current one called Happy Days that she talks about healing and her life story. She's a spiritual guru. She's amazing.
Sorry, what's the surname?
Bernstein, B-E-R-N-S-T-E-I-N.
Thank you.
Gabby or Gabrielle. Just put in Gabby.
And honey, what was the name of the book again?
Return to Zero. Let me just double check that.
No, that was Joe Vitale.
Super Attractor.
Oh, thank you.
Can I ask something?
Absolutely.
What do you think of Brené Brown?
I don't mind her stuff, but I'm not a massive fan.
No,
I've tried listening to one of her books on audio and I get like sidetracked, whereas I can just absorb Gabby. Lisa Nichols is another one of my favorite mindset coaches.
Good.
Yeah, I don't mind her. I don't get a lot out of her though. I get so much more out of Joe, and they're to me more spiritually aligned. Something
Yeah.
doesn't gel with
What
me
about
there.
Abraham Hicks?
Yeah, I love their work. I've done a lot of
they
stuff with
great?
them. They're fantastic. There's so many YouTube things that you can do on
I
that.
know.
And yeah, that
It's-
and Dr. Wayne Dwyer, love that stuff.
Oh, do you like? Yeah.
Yeah. Louise L. Hayes, You Can Heal Your Life, changed my life. That's what I use in my healing. Every emotion causes a physiological problem in our body, right? Any aches, pains, any problems, health conditions, go and look at the metaphysical meaning behind it, heal that, and the health condition
Good
disappears.
book. It's a good book.
It's the bomb. That, and there's another one by it's called The Body's the Barometer of Your Soul. And I always get the Annette Noontil, I think her name is. It's amazing of dealing with. It also talks about, like, if you get a car problem, just say there's something wrong with your car. It's a physiological thing in your life showing up.
Yeah, it's there's a lot of good writers. I like the old, like from the.
Bye, Karina.
If you look at all these motivational speakers, I mean, some of them have been around since 1930, 1940.
Yeah.
You know, Proctor. He was.
Proctor.
I
love his stuff. Yep.
Yeah, and he's from what, 1940, 1935. The most basic, but yet the most powerful.
Yeah. And it is the simplicity of it that these are tried and true methods that have been around for a long time, and a lot of people just haven't wanted to hear it. If you actually go and look at all the people in The Secret, they've been doing this for many, many years, and we've never heard of them.
They have.
And everyone has slightly different takes on it, but the message is all the same. One of the reasons, I love that book. I've got like 8 copies of it, I reckon, in different versions. But everything, I don't care what it is. Every time I have an illness, I go and look at the metaphysical behind it and heal that and shift that and encompass that, and the pain and everything goes away.
So true.
So, Shaz, what was the name of that book, that for illness that you were saying? That
You Can Heal Your Life.
You Can Heal Your
Sorry?
Life. Yeah.
You Can Heal Your Life.
Heal Your Life.
Yeah.
I think I don't know if I have it or if I've seen it.
Sandra, show again. That's it.
Sorry?
That's the book up there. Can you see Sandra's screen?
No.
I'll screenshot it and send it to the group.
Yeah.
No, I can't see it.
It's all right.
She's got a copy of it up there. My one's not as pretty as that version. It's an older copy.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of different things that I recommend and really align with.
Yeah.
And
Louise Hayes. Yes.
yeah.
Yeah.
And there
I
are
knew I
others
saw it,
that
yeah.
just, I just haven't got a, same as I quite like Rebecca Campbell's stuff to a certain degree. I love her cards and things like that and the starseed aspect of it, but I can't quite get into her book.
I find Louise Hayes, I really, really liked her.
Oh, she's amazing. Her stuff changed my life.
But don't you think it's a little, it's just so, I don't know. I've got so many of her things which I really like, but I guess maybe I'm getting inundated with emails from, things from her. So I just find it like, it's just so commercial now.
Yeah, the Hay House stuff, most of the emails that come through are usually to buy stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's not just her stuff anymore,
commercial.
it's for everything
Her
in that
stuff
aspect. Yeah.
Yeah.
I just find it, ironic's not quite the word. I just find it really quite amazing that she died and 12 months later to the day Wayne Dwyer died, or vice versa. On the same day, 12 months apart. And they were so highly connected.
He's one of my favorite. He's one of my favorites.
Hi, lovely.
I love him. I remember Louise Hayes when I first picked up her book. I was going to start in my journey. I was so angry. I threw it across the room because it was. And my girlfriend's like, so no, I actually threw it and I left it there, I reckon, for a week because I just did not. I had an argument with it and I just threw it But I picked it up, of course, because, you know, it triggered.
And that's what it is. Now, one of the things I'm really passionate about teaching people, and they don't quite get it the way that I'd love them to, is we are only ever triggered by something that's not a truth, because otherwise we have complete acceptance, as I said, or complete denial. So one of the favorite things I like to say to people, just say someone comes up and says, oh my God, I hate your hairdo. It's got nothing to do with your hairdo. They hate their own.
Yes.
And so either you're going to go, well, just because you can't rock this hairdo, or you don't have whatever hairdo it is, right? Or you're going to go, yeah, I know, I don't like it either. Now you've got a choice. You can go and change it, cut it, color it, do whatever you have to do to it, or you learn to accept it, right? But if you're triggered by it, it's because somewhere you've been taught to hate your hair. I used to get triggered by mine all the time because I hated red hair, because it was just this insult to me until I learned to love it. Now I don't give a shit. Okay, if you don't like it, that's your problem. It's got nothing to do with me. And in loving it for myself, I get 5 million compliments about it a week at least, like all the time. Oh my God, I love that color. And it's back to natural. It's not dyed. It's not changed. It's not anything. It's back to it exactly what it's meant to be. And that's where we find the true love and essence of ourselves.
But we do have to find ourselves as we age.
And it's that acceptance.
And like ourselves is really important, because
we love ourselves.
Yes, love ourselves, because we are not taught that.
Yeah. And
that has to come, and that only comes through age.
The other thing that I'm really passionate about teaching people and helping them get up to understand, especially women, because we are taught to be critical of ourselves and others.
Oh, totally. We compare consistently.
Any criticism or comparison that you have between you and another person has nothing to do with them. It is a mirror of them and a reflection of yourself. So when someone says something to you about you, it's got nothing to do with you. In your head, all you need to say is, I'm so sorry that you feel that way about yourself, because that's all it is. Now, if it triggers you or you agree with it, do something about it.
Yeah.
Okay? Because they can only upset you if it's something that you don't want to think anymore, or it's no longer your truth. And that's a trigger and a warning for you to do the work. And if you do the work, you can't be triggered. Okay? And then you stop comparing and you stop considering we are all here and we're all unique and different, and we're all here to uplift the world whatever way we can. If you aren't out there uplifting, commenting, and like complimenting and showing other people love, there's problems within you, not them. Any judgment you make on another person, look in the mirror first.
Thank you. I like that.
Yeah, I do too.
I love that. Thank you. I'm forever saying it, but you know, but I'm not one to hold back either.
I'm not either.
If I see something beautiful in someone, I will actually say it, you know, or if someone says to me, oh my God, Joyce, you know, your hair, blah, 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 or, you know, you look amazing. I said, you're only seeing what you're seeing in yourself. I'm just a mirror of you.
Yeah.
So please believe when you say something about me, it's you, honey, you know.
And also for you to learn to take a compliment. Most of us can't.
Oh, no, I do. I do now. It took me a long time. It took me a freaking long time. Comes with age, man.
Sure does.
I'm getting old. Oh, it's wonderful.
So yeah, if there's no further questions, I will write that blog tomorrow. I was doing the research on it. I've always known about the spiritual laws. I've been working with them for a number of times, but the few blogs that I found aren't that clear. And I want to do it from my own personal perspective for my audience. So I will write a blog on them over the next 2 days or so. And then I'll send a link of it to Amanda and she can pass it on to everyone.
Thank you.
Pleasure. It's lovely to meet you all. And good luck,
lovely
ladies.
meeting you, Shaz.
You're
welcome.
amazing. Thank you.
Pleasure.
It was great.
Thank you.
Can't wait
Thank
to
you.
Beautiful.
see all this and take more in.
No worries. I love this stuff. I can talk spiritual things and ways to improve life and energy all day long and then some. And they're only simple things that you need to do. Everyone thinks it's hard work and it's not. They're the simple things that matter. And it's just little simple techniques. Like one of my favorite things, and I got taught, was someone said one of the best days to make yourself have a great day, make your bed first thing in the morning. Because if you never accomplish another thing, at least you've done that and you can be grateful for that going back to bed the next day. I spent years of never made my bed ever. I make it every single day.
I do.
Okay, small little habits change the world.
I'm going to follow
Well, it's
you.
been
You've got a
amazing.
Facebook page, haven't you? You have a Facebook page?
Yeah.
Thank you. I should go and follow you as soon as I switch off.
I gotta find out where I can stop
think I
recording
have.
this. It won't stop until we end it.
Thank you so much. I really appreciated this, and I appreciate you. Thank you.
Pleasure, ladies. It's lovely to meet you all.
Great meeting you, darling.
Thank you.